Hello and a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday as we get ready for another craft along. Really looking forward to this, and hopefully by now you already know exactly what you need to take part in this craft along. But basically, this show is all about crafting along with us, and over the course of the next hour, say hour and 20 minutes, we're all hopefully going to make an amazing project together. It is all today about our double-sided dies, and we've got a whole selection for you on the show. But let me introduce you to the lady who is going to be leading the craft along today, a lady who is back by popular demand. It is the lovely Jan. How are you, Jan?
Hi, Ben. I am good, thank you. Yes, I feel as if we're sort of like going towards the end now. It's been a very strange day today. Those of you that have been watching Craig and I this morning will know what we're talking about. But yeah, thrilled to be back for another craft along. I can't wait. And I've actually made a little pack for our Ben, so he's going to try and have a craft along with us as well.
Yes.
So this is what we're going to be doing. I actually popped some photos on, but it wasn't easy to photo. So yeah, I've got the real thing now. So it actually looks a little bit like a sort of deep card base.
Yeah.
And we've got those lovely edgeables on the front there. We're going to die cut them twice. But when we actually open it up and look inside, you've got the bit of the wow factor. It's a card and a gift. Opens up like the card.
Come
but
on.
Look at that. I would love a gift like that. And I'm just saying to the guys here, I says, I am so proud of myself that these are the original bars of chocolate. I didn't eat them and have to replace them. So yeah, they just fit nicely inside there in your little gift box. And it is a nice gift. I thought if you're not quite ready for Mother's Day at the weekend yet, last little minute project. I know you guys over in the States, your Mother's Day is a little bit further down the line, but ours is on Sunday. So yes, looking forward to it, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I've got a little pile to get crafting along as well. But Jan, take us through everything that we're going to need if we want to join along in the craft along today.
Right, okie dokie. So let's have a think then. We've got the list on the screen, haven't we? So your chosen Gemini machine. I'm using the large Gemini. You will also need your 2 clear cutting plates for the Gemini, and you will also need the double-sided cutting plates because we're working with a double-sided die, okay? Your choice of paper pad, I use the Contemporary watercolour, but as always, you know, you can choose your own combination of colours, and then I chose the neutral tones from our 12 by 12 textured card pad, but again, something that corresponds with your chosen paper pad.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be using the actual die itself, so if you haven't got our Pretty Florals Edgeable, any of the Edgeables that you've got in your stash, if you don't even have a double-sided one, you could do this with an ordinary Edgeable. And then I've also, just from my stash, I've got a chosen sentiment. I used a Just For You sentiment, but it can be any kind of sentiment. And then I've just pulled out my circular stitch circles and scallop circles nesting dies just to cut around that sentiment. But again, if you don't have those, you can just cut it out with your guillotine. And then as far as product extras are equipment's needed, you're going to need access to a guillotine. You will actually need your score master or scoring board.
Yep.
Let's have a look what else we're going to need. We're going to need a pair of scissors, your bone folder, pokey tool, some low-tack tape, some means of stamping, whether it's a stamping platform or an acrylic block, or and your ink to go with it. So I've got some coloured ink to match my chosen paper, but again, not essential with that. And then a selection of adhesives that we've got there up on the screen as well. So you know that I like using different adhesives for different parts of the project. Okay.
Excellent stuff. As always, if you want to get in touch throughout the show, you can do on Facebook and YouTube. Let us know if you've got any of the products already and how much you love them. And also let us know if you are crafting along with this show too, because hopefully it's going to be nice and interactive. If you haven't got the Edgeables that we're going to be using, of course, the great thing is you'll be able to watch this show back. If you subscribe to us on YouTube, it's a great way to be notified about new shows. But then you can also create your own playlists. So So if it's craft alongs particularly that you love, you can come back and look at all of the craft alongs. But the great thing is, as I say, you can re-watch this show once you've got all the goodies from it. So if you want to be able to craft along, details coming up here on the screen just now of your double-sided Edgeables, an 8-piece collection, half price deal on this today as well. I'll just give you a quick sample of what you're going to be getting within this collection. It's an 8-piece collection for $46.50 or $53. It's an unbelievable deal today. As I say, half price deal, better than really, and then you take your 20% off your platinum. That comes down even further for you as well. So it is all about that one-pass technology giving you 2 perfect cuts. This is your beautiful dancing butterflies. You've got the pretty florals in there as well. And then you're going to get, as I say, I'll show you these in more detail a little bit later on, things like those gorgeous, gorgeous hearts too. There's 8 dies in total. Your garden border, lily border, pretty florals, and your dancing butterflies. And then you've got your diamond lattice, your fleur-de-lis, your shining stars, and your heart to heart. So let's get cracking, because I'm excited as well to get cracking along with Jan. So Jan, where do we need to start?
Where do we need to start? Right, so on my list of things that you will need, the first thing that I popped down was some stamping card. So I've actually taken 4 pieces out of my A4 pack of stamping card, and we're going to cut into these first of all to make all the elements for the box. Well, it's sort of a card and a box. So we're going to need a piece for the front.
Yep.
We're going to need a piece that will eventually stick on the bottom, and then we're going to need some to make the, it's like making the inside of a box without the lid kind of thing. So just chopping into your cardstock then, you're going to need the guillotine, and we'll take them 1 piece at a time. So if you're all ready with me with your guillotines at the ready, piece number 1 is actually going to be the front of the card. So if you take your card along the long side, all right, so pop the long side into your guillotine, and we're actually going to cut this at 6 3/4 inches. All right, so I'm just going to go along my guillotine to the 6 3/4 mark there. Make sure it's all buttered up nicely, and cut that one on the guillotine there. And then I'm going to leave the width at ours is 8 1/4 here in the UK.
Okay.
All right, if you bought our stamping card, even though in the US, you should be on that 8 1/4 measurement. So 8 1/4 across the width of the card by 6 3/4 this way. And if you want to make a little note on it, just so that you don't, because there's quite a few pieces cut, if you want to just pop on here an F, just so that we know that that's the front piece of our card, all right? Because we're going to have 2 or 3 pieces by the time we've done. So that's piece number 1. I'm going to take a second piece of my cardstock then, and I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to go again on that long side. So I've got the long side in the guillotine, and this time we're going to go at 6 3/4 again. So lining it up at that same mark, 6 3/4. And cut. Don't forget to keep that arm pressed against your guillotine when you're cutting, and then rotate, and we're going to trim that 8 1/4 side down to 6 1/2. So pop this one along 6 1/2 at the top and cut this one down. All right, and then on there, if you want to just pop a B with your pencil, that's going to be the back piece that the box sits on. Okay.
Okay.
So pop that one on the pile, all right? Save all these pieces that you've got that are being cut off, because we're going to chop into those for something else. Piece number 3 is going to actually be the box, the base at the inside of the box. And I'm just literally going to cut this at 8 1/4 square. So again, on that long side, just bring this down a little bit, pop it over to 8 1/4. And because our A4 is already 8 1/4 in width, just that one cut is going to give me a square.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm just going to pop an X on that one for the box so that we don't confuse it with the B for back.
Right.
Okay, that's that third piece, and then let's have a little look. Out of one of your scraps now then, so the pieces that are left, we're going to need to cut 2 pieces that measure 6 by 3 inches. So I know I've still got my 6 inches on the width of it. So I'm going to pop them in and cut both these spare pieces down to 3 inches. I've got a narrower one here as well, which I think that one should, yeah, I've got enough room to use the narrower one down to 3 inches. So whatever scraps you've got left, and then I'm going to turn it round and measure it at 6. All right, so we need 2 pieces there that measure 6 by 3. Okay?
Okay.
So one there and the other one at 6 inches just there. So 2 pieces, 6 inches tall, 3 inches across. Those are going on my pile. And then the last piece of white, you should have 1 piece of scrap left. Okay, and I'm going to cut this one down to 3.5 inches squared. And I will recap all those measurements for you. Now we've got everything cut.
Brilliant.
Okay, so there are a few bits of scrap left that we can save. We're going to do a little bit of stamping later. I've actually got my 4th sheet. I didn't need that. I just put 4 sheets in just in case. All right, so to go back through those from the beginning, we started off with the front cover with our F on it, and that should measure 8.25 along the long side by 6.75 on the short side. Okay, that was piece number 1. Piece number 2 was 6.75 on the long side by 6.5 on the short side. Okay, then we had a full square, which was 8.25 inches square. All right, which was the width of our A4, just cut off at 8.25. We had 2 pieces that measured 6 inches tall by 3 inches across. And then we had our little piece that measures 3.5 inches square.
Okay.
All right, so we've got all those to one side. So I think what we'll do now, rather than do all the cutting all at once, we'll go and do a little bit of scoring and get those pieces prepared. So I'm going to pop the guillotine to one side and I'm going to exchange that for my scoreboard and score tool.
Okie dokie.
All right, so I've got my score master there with my score tool, and I am working on the inches side. So just to take those pieces again in the order that we cut them. So I'm going back to the one that we wrote the F on for front, which was the 8.25 by 6.75. So I'm going to put the shorter side up against the left hand side of my scoring tool, scoreboard.
Okay.
Yep, so the 8.25 across the width. This is going to be the height of the box. And all I want to do there is actually score at 6.5 inches. Okay, down there, nice deep score line. And then again at 7.5 inches. Okay, like so. So I've come across that top edge, the long side, to 6.5 and 7.5, and we've created an inch sort of parallel line going on there.
Yeah.
All right, if I tilt that, can we see those score lines just on there?
Just about, yeah. You can see them now, yep.
I know we're working on white card again, aren't we? I should really have done this on a darker colour for you, but yeah, you can see them there.
Good.
So that's piece number 1,
Perfect.
all right? Piece number 2 that we wrote the B on for back can stay just as it is.
Okay.
So that one's going back on my pile. And then we want the piece that's going to be the box.
Yes.
Now, any of you out there know that when we're making boxes, we normally do the lid at one side, if you're familiar with this, and the box base at the other side.
Yeah.
But because we've only got half a box today, it doesn't matter. I'm still working on that left-hand side. So it measures the same all the way round, and I want you to just score it at 1 inch all the way round. So all 4 sides are going to have a nice score line, just butting it up to that left-hand edge at 1 inch all the way round there. Okay, so again, make sure it's nice and straight.
Yeah.
I tend to sort of go a little bit lighter and do a couple of score lines rather than going really deep into it and risk damaging your card.
Okay.
So that's all the scoring done. So we can pop our scoreboard back to one side for now.
Coming along nicely.
And then we need to do a little bit of cutting and prep on the pieces again. So I'm going to go back to the first one. So we're going back in the same order again. And wherever you've got your score line there, you can see that beautifully there, look. I'm literally just going to fold it away from myself, okay? And I'm going to use my bone folder just to secure that fold in there. And then I'm going to use that second one and do the same. Bone folder again and create. So I'm just going to flip it round now. My F's actually upside down because we need that on the left-hand side. This is going to be the spine.
Yeah.
All right, that opens up for the front cover. All right, so with your red line tape then, whatever size you've got, I didn't particularly say a size because it doesn't matter whether it's the thick one or the thin one. I've just happened to grab my thin one here. On that tab that we've created, the thinnest one right at the end, I want you to pop some tape. And we're going to use this eventually to stick it all together.
Okay.
So just down that narrowest piece, so you've got the big square here at the top.
Yep.
You've got the inch spine. On that narrowest piece, we're just going to pop some tape on there. All right. How are we doing, Ben? Have we got that far?
All looking
Look
good over this side.
that is
Following.
Sorted. Oh,
following
your
along.
wider tape works just as well. Look.
Well, I've gone quiet.
Yep. And then all I'm going to do with my little snips is just where I've put the tape, I'm just going to take a little tiny wedge up to that first score line.
Yeah.
And you can see, where's it gone? I was going to say you can see there. Here we are, look. Literally, it is just a little tiny bit.
Little wedge, yeah.
And what this does, I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other end. When you're lining things up, if something's not quite straight, it just gives you a little tiny bit of movement.
Yeah.
So that nothing's poking out of the edge.
Okay.
So literally just a sliver off there. So that's piece number one ready. All right, we've got that bit ready for the front of our box. Again, piece number two that we put the beaver back on, we don't need to do anything to. Eventually, these two are going to stick together, and you can see there that we're making that 1 inch depth card to wrap around the box.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to stick it together just yet.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now then, the box one. So you've got your 8 1/4 square piece, which we said was going to be our X for box.
Yes.
Again, where you've got your score lines, I want you to fold them all and burnish. And when we get to the end of this section with all the scoring and the folding and the sticking, we'll have a break so that you can all catch up.
Absolutely.
Because I know not everybody works at the same speed, and if we're going too fast, let us know in the comments. But I think we will take a little breather at the end of this part so that you can catch up.
I think it's a nice pace so far, as I say, but yeah, we will do a little break.
So
in a
you've
second.
got all those score lines done. Again,
Okay.
scissors, whether you use the smaller ones or the larger ones, it doesn't really matter. You've got a little square. If I actually draw this in so that you can see, on that corner where those lines have actually crossed, you can see that we've got that square there in the corner.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from the outside edge, and I'm cutting down the score line, but I'm actually on this side of the score. So the score line's on the piece on the little tab. Okay? And again, I'm going to go with that sliver into that tab. So keep this line nice and straight on the edge of the box and take the snippet out of the tab. And I'm going to do the same on this edge. Just up to the score line, so that you're creating yourself like a little tab, and that's the bit that's going to tuck round to make our box. Okay, and then turn it 90 degrees, and we're going to do exactly the same on all 4 corners. So up the straight line, snip into the tab, and take just a little tiny bit up to that score line again off that side. So that's number 2. Rotate again. Cut on the inside of the score line, so you're technically cutting the score line off so that you've got a nice straight edge here with no score on it. That little sliver that you're taking off sort of snips the score line away.
Yeah.
And then just taking that edge off, and then we'll do the last one there, straight up that edge to give you a nice clean. That's going to be the edge of the box. This bit's going to tuck inside. And again, you're going to create those nice square corners.
Perfect.
Okay. Fabulous. So we'll get some tape on that ready.
Yep.
And then once we've done that, as I say, I think it'll be a good point there to actually take a break and let everybody catch up. So I'm just going to flick to my sort of wider tape. If you've only got the narrow bit, you can pop a couple of pieces on. But on the tabs now, those little tabs that we created out of the squares, I'm just going to pop a little bit of my red line tape. You could use your tape pen on here when we're ready to stick it together.
Yeah.
But if you're using a tape pen, hang fire, because we're not actually going to make the box as such just yet. So I just want to get all these bits prepared.
All the pieces together, yeah.
At the ready. So each of those 4 corners is going to have a piece of tape on ready for when we pop it together later. So all 4 of them, I've just put I tend to use the red line tape when I'm making a box, but our tape runners are strong enough if you like to use those. So we've got that piece at the ready. So it should look like that when you've finished, okay? So eventually this will go together then with the tabs on the inside to create that box that's going to fit inside. But I want you to keep everything flat just for the time being. And then the last pieces that we cut, can leave those exactly as they are. So the 2 6" by 3" and the little square, keep those as they are. So that's all the cutting, scoring, folding and taping for the construction of the actual project. So the next bit is we're going to go on to cutting the papers to the right size for our mats and layers. But I think at that point, Ben, it'd be a good time for everybody to catch up with where we've got to so far.
Absolutely. Loving this so far. I love these craft alongs with Jan. I think is brilliant. And loads of you loving that as well. Denise on YouTube just saying, Jan's pace is just right. Her voice is calming and does not make you feel rushed. Terry Anderson, Jan, you explained this very well. Zero confusion. And Donna saying,
I'm glad they're all following.
That's it. Great tips on the edge by cutting that little sliver off. Lots of people watching as well. Betty's watching from Houston, Texas. Linda says hello from South Carolina. Lisa from Hawaii. Karen Bradley from Southern West Virginia. Christine from Missouri. Treasure Heart from Texas. And hi to Robin Richards on Facebook, who says, this is my first time watching Craft Along. Hello, lovely to have you with us.
Welcome.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Family.
Hadass is saying, love these Craft Along shows. They are always full of tips. And Brownie's Crafts on YouTube saying, hello to the lovely Jan and Ben. These look amazing. Jan, you're such an inspiration. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Let us know if the pace is good for you. Let us know if you're crafting along as well. And as I say, come sort of the end of the craft along in just a little while, hopefully you'll be sending in your pictures too. And indeed, if you haven't managed to craft along during this show, if you've got any any projects that you've made with any of the double-sided dies, we would love to see those a little bit later on. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is the email address to send those pictures in later. One other thing just to mention, just whilst we're having a breather from the Craft Along, it's National Craft Month. I'm sure you already knew that. We've been giving away prizes each and every day. All you've had to do is simply comment or send us a question on any of the shows. Slightly different today in that we are going to be picking the winner during this show. So sometime between now and 5 o'clock in the next sort of hour and a half, if you have commented, if you have asked a question, you're already in the draw. If you haven't, there is still time for you to get your comment in or a question, and that'll automatically get you into the draw to stand the chance of winning a whole host of prizes, which I'll show you in more detail perhaps a little bit later on. Don't forget as well, just to recap, if you do want to do this craft along and you haven't yet got the collection that we're working with, it's this here. Great time to buy it because it's half price. If you go for this full collection, normally $103.92 or $119.92, $46.50 today, or $53 is the deal, less your 20% of course if you're platinum. That comes down even further, $37.20 here in the UK, or $42.40. It really is a super deal, so grab yours and then you can craft along at a later date when you watch this back on YouTube. Right, I think we are all up to speed and ready to move on to the next section, so we're going to be looking at the papers next.
We're going to be looking at the card and the paper to make the mats and layers, because if you've watched me before, you know that I prefer to get everything ready, all cut out, all laid out, what I call dry, and then stick it all together at the end, because there's lots of ways where and I know I'm talking from experience, you know, you stick something down and then realise, actually, I wanted something on there first. So I work just like this at home. When I made the project at home, get all the pieces ready and laid out so that I can see that it's all going to fit together before I start sticking anything together. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the mats, the grey mats for the back. So we want one for the front here, and we want one for a mat and layer inside. Yeah. So I've actually got my neutral pad here, and I chose, I think it was the third set of grey, but whichever is going to match with your chosen paper. Yeah. So I'm going to pull one of those grey sheets out because I just wanted something neutral against the floral papers. So I just need one sheet out of that pad. Now my original design was done in blue, but I'm running out of blue paper, so I'm going to flick over, because I've got that contemporary watercolour pad here, I'm going to flick over to these sort of pinky sections on this one. So it's exactly the same, just to show you that you can do them in a different colourway. Yeah. And the reason I picked this pad was because you've got those beautiful florals, but you've got the perfect contrasting piece on the back because they're double-sided. So I'm literally going to take one of those out to use the front pattern, and I'm going to take a second sheet because I want to use the plain. So those two are going to work beautifully together when we come to do some matting and layering. So whatever your chosen pad is, you need two pieces that are basically going to complement each other.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a plain one. It's just that this particular pad lent itself to working with a patterned one and a plain one. So those are going to be my chosen pieces. So you can see the pink and grey looks nice there, just as well as the blue and grey did. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my guillotine this time because we need to do some cutting first. So we're going to start off with the grey layers, which are going to be our mats. And I'm going to take that grey piece of cardstock and I want to cut it in half at 6 inch. No, I'm telling fibs. I want to cut it at 6 1/4 inches. So just again, along the top, I'm taking it to 6 1/4 inches. Make sure it's lined up. If you've got our guillotine, I love the fact that it's got all the lines on so that you can make sure that everything is perfectly straight to give you that excellent cut.
Yes.
And then when you're using your guillotine, always use your finger guard. And as you bring this lever down, as well as coming down, I'm pushing it against the blade on the bottom. So it sort of comes down and towards that blade to get that lovely clean cut. All right, so 6 1/4 inches. And then because this was a 12-inch pad, I'm now just going to flip it round and cut it in half at 6 inches. So again, on my 6-inch line there, cut it in half, and I've created two mats that measure 6 1/2 inches deep by 6 inches across.
Perfect.
Okay, that's all we actually need at the minute out of the grey cards. So I'm going to pop those on my pile, keep this bit for future use. Right, next one we're going to do the plain. So on here, I need to cut it in half at 6 inches. So again, 12-inch square piece of paper, over to the 6-inch line, make sure it's all straight and cut it in half. All right, so I've now got 12 by 6 inches. Then I'm going to rotate it and cut it in half again to give me a 6-inch square.
So that's your 1/4 inch for your mats and layers, is it?
Spot on, Ben. You're learning along with me. I am very proud. He's got that then. I've gone down 1/4 inch from that grey layer. Let me just cut this one.
Top teacher, you see, Jan.
And you will then, it's spot on, look. Wait, not that bit. No, this is for an inside bit. All right, this one's going to go inside. Yep. So on there. And then your piece that's left that is 6 inches square. Okay. I want you to cut this in half again at 3 inches.
Okay.
So you're going to have two pieces there that measure 6 by 3.
Yes.
Okay, two separate pieces. So those are going to go on our pile. And then the bit that's left here, okay, we just need to cut some little narrow strips this time. So I want to go, let me have a look, 3/4 inch, which is only a sliver. So it's just about, on my guillotine, it's about the width of the metal strip. So the metal bit underneath here is around about the 3/4 inch mark. If you're using a different brand guillotine, you'll be familiar with where your measurements are. Okay. But I just want a long, narrow strip at 3/4 inch.
Yep.
And then I actually want to turn that around and cut that in half at 6 inches. So I've now got two pieces that are 6 inches by 3/4 inch.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to take another long sliver off there at 3/4 inch and do that one again in half at 6 inches. Now we only actually need 3 of those pieces. So one of those pieces is a spare. I'm going to put one with my pile of bits.
Yep.
The other bit's going on my scrap pile.
Okay.
Okay, we all good?
All good.
Fabulous.
Loving this.
Right, so the patterned piece then. So whatever you've chose for your pattern design,
nice.
All right, I want you to cut, let me have a little look. We want 6 inches again, so we're going in half because we're on a 12 by 12 sheet. a 6-inch down the middle to cut it in half. So I've got 2 equal pieces. And then we're going to rotate, and we're going to go at 5 3/4. Now let me just double check before you cut that layer. I'm fairly certain that this is the mat and layer, Ben.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have a piece of pattern paper that's directional, all right, the 6-inch one is the height. So mine doesn't matter because it doesn't matter which way around I have my piece of paper, but it's actually going to be slightly taller than it is wide. So if you've got a pattern paper that's got a direction on it, make sure that your 6-inch side is your vertical side.
Okay.
Yeah? Brilliant. And then again on here, we just need a piece now that is going to measure 6 1/4. So we should just have that left on your spare piece because we took 5 3/4 off. I've got 6 1/4 left. All right. And I'm just going to do this piece by 3/4 inch again. So again, I'm just lining it up on my metal element and taking that sliver off there to give me that thin strip.
Lovely.
And that's all the cutting done there.
Brilliant.
So we can pop all those spare pieces. They would all go back. I have each paper pad that I've got.
Yeah.
I have a plastic wallet, and all the pieces of paper that are scrapped from that paper pad go in the wallet and sit with the paper pad.
That's very organised.
Yep.
Very organised.
Even that little bit, I'd be keeping. You never know when that little bit might come in handy for something. Even if it was just to go across a, if you were making a card like so, and you wanted to split it in half.
Yeah.
So I'd never throw them away. They always go in a packet and they stay with the relative paper pad.
Brilliant.
Right, so let's have a think then. We can actually start and do a little bit of matting and layering, I think, and get some of these pieces together. I'm concerned that we've got lots of bits of paper going on.
All right.
So again, let everybody catch up, Ben.
Yes.
We've got everything at the ready to start sticking, but I just think a breather so that people can get all those pieces together.
Absolutely. There's loads of you loving this. I think a lot of people as well are sort of watching for now and then are going to craft this. There's a few comments sort of saying, oh, I'm going to save this for the weekend and do this when I've got a little bit more time. But lots of love for the pace, lots of love for Jan. Martha Hampton on Facebook says, it's my first time watching also from Texas. Well, Martha, welcome along.
Welcome.
It's great here at Crafters TV. These craft alongs are brilliant, as I say, because you can do exactly that. Craft along with us. Lots of love for this box as well. Jenny just saying, I shall make one of these for my granddaughter to put her chocolate for Easter in. Yep.
Yeah, Easter as well coming up, haven't we? Yeah.
Just to say, Jan, by the way, I know you've helped me get a few bits and pieces ready over this side for the box that I'm going to make. You didn't seem to put any chocolate over this side.
I did say, I think on if you read my post on social media, Ben, that if you wanted to supply the chocolate, you can always add it in later. I might share with you later. Depends how well you do.
Oh, there's pressure. There's pressure. Andrew Newton just saying, I just love these craft along shows. I need to watch them back on the weekends when I can actually attempt to craft. And then loads of Jan love. Bobby Vessels on Facebook. Jan, you're the best. I love watching and listening to you. Paola Lucioni on YouTube says, this isn't the first time that I've seen a craft along, but the first time that I have joined in the project. Pamela, hopefully we'll see a picture from you later. Jan, you are such a good demonstrator. Something to be said for the patient-teacher experience. You can tell what Jan used to do, can't you? You can tell. She was a teacher. And then lots of love for the papers that you've chosen as well. But again, the great thing about this craft along is you can sort of see the crux of it, the nuts and bolts of it, but then you can choose to decorate, with whichever papers that you want to. But hopefully lots of you crafting along as well. As we say, we know Pamela's in with us. If you are crafting, do make sure as we get towards the end of the craft along in just a little while, you send in the pictures of all of your makes. We would love to see those at the end so we can all compare our makes when we have finished. As I say, I will start to put my box together with Jan in just a second. Excited about this. Hopefully it will go as well as the last craft along that we did last week. But to send your pictures in, don't forget studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Alrighty then, what are we going to do next, Jam?
Righty, we're going to start, as I say, I'm just conscious that we've got a lot of bits of paper and card going on now, so I want to start and put some of them together.
Okay.
But we need to do things in a certain order. So well, first of all, we're going to work on the box element. So the piece that you wrote the X on, and that we prepared those little sticky tabs at the ready. The first thing I want you to do is flip it over so that the sticky tabs are underneath.
Okay.
And the square of plain paper that we cut at 6 inches square is cut just to fit inside your box.
Okay.
So even when we've got the edges brought up, it's got enough space for it to fit inside. So again, chosen glue, I'm going to use my tape runner.
Okay.
If you prefer a wet glue, we've put all the glues on the show, so it'll work with the all-purpose. So if you'd rather use a wet glue so that you can wriggle it into place, you can use your all-purpose glue. But I'm just going to stick with my tape runner. So we want the plain side facing up. So on the pattern side, I'm going to run my tape runner around the outside.
I always did the little flick. Oh, you missed that. You just missed my little, I did the little flick. I've done them all now. I just did it. See, I learned, because Jan always says do the little flick at the end, isn't it, Jan? Yeah,
just to break that line of adhesive. He's a good pupil.
I know, remember.
And then inside the base of the box, there should be just enough room to pop that in with sort of like a little tiny, probably 1/8 of an inch or so around the edge. Okay, so again, when you're positioning it, just pop it in lightly. Make sure you're happy with it. And once it looks square, give it a good rub down. So that's going to be the inside of the box. Okay, so when we've done that bit, is it stuck?
I think so.
Yep, good, good.
Yep.
We're going to flip it back over.
Okay.
So I want the side with the sticky tape on this time. And we cut those 3 little slivers of the pattern paper as well.
We did.
So these are going to fit on 3 of your sides. And it doesn't matter which 3 at this point.
Right.
This one's going to be stuck inside the box here.
Right.
So you can see I've got 1, 2, and 1 on this side to make 3. There's no point in popping 1 on the side that's going to stick inside the box there. So again, with the tape runner, I'm just going to run some glue along those.
Okay.
And stick 1 on each of your 3 sides.
Okay.
Okay, so again, those are just cut the right size to leave a little border all the way around there. So just, again, if you're using the tape runners, just lay it down where you think it wants to go.
Yeah.
Nudge it into place, and when you're happy with it, give it a good press down. So all 3 the same there, 1 on each of your 3 sides.
Right.
Oops.
So it doesn't matter where they go, but I'm going to put mine where you put yours, so I just can follow. You going left-hand side now?
I'm going to go to the left, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So again, just get it centred, lay it down nice and loosely.
Oh.
And once you're happy with where it's sat, give it a good press.
I like to give it a bash.
I like that action, Ben.
Yeah, give it a bash. Yeah.
And then the third one.
Is that on the bottom you're going?
Yes.
Yes.
Oops. So along there and flick. And then again.
Oh yes, Johnny, I do like that idea. Johnny's just said I'll need another star on the board if I manage to complete this.
I can see there being presenter wars going on, isn't there, at this rate?
They keep saying there should be a presenter craft awards. I don't know about that yet. I just enjoy. I'm not doing this for accommodations. I'm doing this for the love of learning the crafts and crafting language, and I find it very therapeutic and very relaxing. That's the only reason I'm doing it, not for any awards.
So we should have got that far now. We've got the square on the inside and we've got 3 of the sides covered on the outside. So we can actually pop this together now.
Right.
So if you're using the red line tape, you can take your tape off there. If you haven't got a pokey tool, you should be able to peel it off with your fingers.
Yeah.
And then all we're going to do is pop the tab on the inside, and that cut edge that we cut is going to line up to make that right angle on the corner. And when you're happy with it again, give it a good sort of rub there.
Okay, I can't get me.
Is it misbehaving?
It is. It's like oh, hang on, I've done it now. So you do one at a time and then fold it in, yeah?
Yeah, 1 at a time. Well, I took all mine off, but again, if you work 1 at a time, it's probably easier for you guys.
Okay.
All right, just to make that nice flush corner. And then we're going to pop it along, and I'm going to do the same with the next one. Line it up, give it a good rub to get that tape to adhere there.
I'm having the same trouble. You know, you were having the trouble with the foam pads the other day? I'm having the same trouble over here.
The red line tape can be a bit tricky. I'd say I'd throw you a pokey tool, but it might be a bit dangerous.
Yeah, don't do that. Health and safety.
My aim's not very good, Ben.
Oh, cool. Can you imagine?
And then again on that fourth side.
Oh, come here. Right.
So we should end up with what looks like the inside. If you were going to make a box and put a lid on it, you should end up with what looks like the inside part of the box.
Right, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Coming on beautifully there, look. Yeah.
Thank you. You carry on, don't wait for me. You can probably...
Okay.
Because I'm going to be here forever.
So we're going to pop that to one side now. That bit's ready to go in our project at the end, okay? So I'm going to pop that bit to one side, and I'm going to bring in my front panel.
Right.
So the piece that we prepared with the 1-inch spine, and then we tape this left-hand side. Ignore that my F's upside down, because we want the spine on the left-hand side here.
Oh, hang on a minute. Right there.
Are you with us?
Right there, hang on.
That's it, fantastic.
Hey.
Yep.
Whee.
So you can pop that to one side, now that bit's finished.
Okay,
ready?
Cool.
That's the tray for the chocolate. And then your front piece.
Right.
All right, so we prep this. We've got the main panel at the front here. We've got that 1-inch spine, and then we've got our taped piece on the left-hand side.
Yep.
So I want you to take just one of your grey pieces here.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to pop this on the front. But before you do that, I asked you to get a couple of lengths of 12-inch ribbon.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to secure these underneath the panel before we stick the front on, so that they're actually disguised under there. So you can either eyeball the middle, or if you've got your ruler, you can actually measure and just pop yourself a little mark at the halfway line there.
Well, I'm going to have to eyeball it,
Yeah,
I think.
if you eyeball it, I do usually, I must admit.
Yeah.
And then again, I'm going to you can use your tape runner for this.
Yeah.
So I'm going, where I've put that little mark in the middle, I'm just going to lay down just 2 or 3 layers on the top of each other of that tape runner, so that I can stick my piece of ribbon, and I've gone about 1 inch in from the edge.
Okay.
And give that a good rub down, because we want to conceal that underneath the matting and layering.
So how far you've gone in about 1 inch with the ribbon, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So we can now pop that grey piece on top of there. So one of your grey pieces, these were cut the same size.
Yes.
So one of those is going to go straight onto the front now.
Right.
So again, I'm still sticking with my tape runner.
Okay.
So all the way around the edge of the grey, just to get some adhesive. If you're using your wet glue, you're still probably best with your all-purpose glue.
Tape.
And then this one's cut to leave you a border all the way around that edge there.
Will I get away using my dotty tape pen? Because I think my other one's not working. Can I use my dotty to stick it all down?
You can use
not
your
ideal,
dotty.
is it? But
so wherever you've put the adhesive, just give it a nice good rub. That heat from your fingers just activates all the adhesive in there.
All right.
Okay. And we're just going to leave that one grey, because this is where we're going to come and do some die cutting on here in a second.
Right.
And then out of your pattern paper,
Yeah.
you cut that little sliver at 3/4 of an inch.
Yes.
Which is going to sit on your spine there.
That one there.
So again, yep, tape on the back.
God, I feel so under pressure. I'd like, it's just so weird. How you guys do this day in, day out, I have a new, I mean, not that I didn't respect you in the first place, I've got a newfound respect having done this being my second craft along. How you guys do this day in, day out, I have no idea. So if I was wearing a hat, I would tip
else,
it
you know,
off to
the more you do it, Ben, the more it becomes second nature. It's like anything else. You know, I would be the same watching somebody, I don't know, build a brick wall or something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to start. So yeah, that one's just cut to fit just in that panel there. So that 1-inch spine, we're going to pop that one in there. And I've used the pattern side for that. If you want to use the plain side, you can. So you can see now that we're starting to get that piece that's going to wrap around our box there. That's why we've got that 1 inch spine on it, because we made the box an inch deep.
Okay.
So you can just see how that's going to work, and then eventually
and that's why
we're going to pop the base underneath.
I get it. I'm getting to see this.
So you can see how it's coming together, but we've got a little bit more work to do on the front piece first. So once you've got this far, I think everybody's probably with us at that point. I want you to turn it over, and we're going to work on the inside of the front now as well. Okay. So your second piece of grey is the same size to mat and layer first on there.
Okay.
So again, I wanted plenty of practice for you guys. I get asked such a lot about matting and layering. So before we actually get to the die cutting, we've done lots of cutting with the guillotine, lots of measuring for matting and layering, just to give you guys some practice. So again, that one's cut just to leave a border around there. Okay.
So that's just right, okay. Just there.
So that's going to go on the inside.
Yep.
And then I've got my pattern piece that we cut just the right size to mat and layer on top of there.
Okay. Well,
okay. So the next stage then, and I'm going to stick on the plain side because I want the pattern showing here on the inside. So again, I'm sticking with that tape pen. It works a treat, and if something works, it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Which way do I want my flowers then? I'm getting a bit confuzzled here. If I've got that the same way around as you.
So I've now got my tape on the left-hand side.
Yes.
Yeah, with the spine on the right-hand side.
Yes.
So you want your flowers sort of upright.
Towards me?
That's right,
like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fabulous. And that one's cut just the right size to mat and layer inside there. So a good question there, Ben. If your paper has got an orientation on it,
thank you.
It wants to be sort of, this is actually looking at it as if it's open, so facing this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, this is the bit.
And then amongst your pile of pieces, the very last piece of white we cut was that little piece of 3.5.
Yes.
So I've just popped this in the middle of here so that you've actually got, so if you want to give this as a gift, you've got somewhere to write a little message in there. So again, sticking with that tape pen, and I'm just going to pop my adhesive on the back of there and literally pop that. And I'm just doing it by eye, just to centre it in the middle of that piece. So I'm just checking all 4 sides to see that we've got a similar gap. Just lay it gently, and then once you're happy with it, you can commit to pressing that glue down.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, that's not too bad. Look at that.
He's getting good at this,
I tell you what, eh?
He's a brilliant student. Yep.
Yep.
So again, we don't need to worry about these pieces because this bit's going to stick to the box and this bit's going to hide underneath the box. So we don't need to do anything with those 2 pieces.
Okay.
That's our front piece done. So you can pop that together.
Right.
So again, I think that's maybe a good time to take a break there and let everybody catch up, Ben, because the next bit's going to be the die cutting with that lovely Edgeable die. So we'll just have a catch up.
Yes.
And then we'll do some die cutting.
Who else has got a sweat on? Because I have. The concentration. I'm relaxed, but also like the concentration. But I'm loving it. This is so much fun. Seriously.
You know why I have the fan on now, don't you?
I know. I need one over here. But I'm absolutely loving this. I definitely think for craft alongs in the future, I need to do them all because I'm loving it. Yeah. Crafting Man of the Year, maybe.
You heard him say that on tape, guys, didn't you?
Lots of love for this the demo so far. Lots of love for the papers that we're using as well. Pam Montenegro just saying on Facebook, Dan, I love your craft alongs. Wonderful teaching techniques, so easy to learn from you, and thank you. Jerry Haddad on YouTube doing a great job, Ben. Monica says, go Ben, great job. Great teacher, you see, great teacher. I may look calm on the outside, panicking on the inside. Lisa Canijo on YouTube just saying, Dan, I love the way you teach. You're great. I'm taking notes and the pace is great. I'm at work. Lisa, another picture from you, please, at the end of the show when we all compare makes. I also want to see what chocolates you guys are putting in your boxes too.
Yep.
Kathy C on YouTube, love the idea of the presenters crafting along, and Connie Peltier on Facebook, I need a full day craft along with Jan. She is a great teacher. Yes, she absolutely is. If you are going to send in your pictures, by the way, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk once you've finished at the end of the craft along. Just to quickly show you this deal, because I know there'll be a lot of people watching, and they'll be, do you know what, you'll be going, I really like the pace of this, I can follow along, I want to have a go, but I haven't got this kit yet. Well, let me just quickly show you some of the goodies that you are going to be getting within this kit. So this is your double-sided Edgeable collection. So of course, with these, you've got the ability in one pass to create two gorgeous designs, if you like, which work beautifully together. Now, this collection is a half price deal for you. So you're going to get your pretty florals. So as you can see, you've got the ability to pass through, get the two different designs. And when you build them up, choose the color cardstock that you want. You can create some really, really beautiful decorative pieces. This one here, again, is the dancing butterflies. Loving the black and the pink, which we seem to be seeing quite a lot at the moment. Then on top of that, you're going to get your garden border. Again, some really, really cute designs within this collection. This one here, again, is a stunner, is your fleur de lis. Once again, you can see how that builds up and gives you that sort of extra dimension within there. And then also within this collection, you're going to get, if I flip this one around for you, your heart to heart die too. You can see again how those edgeables work beautifully together. Also with this collection, as you can see, you're going to get your dancing butterflies, which I think I've shown you. You've got your diamond lattice, your shining stars, and your fleur de lis. There's 8 of them in total. All of those you're going to get. Patented technology as well, isn't it? Your double-sided dies for $46.50 today, or $53. It is a super, super deal. And we're going to get onto, I think, seeing how those all cut in just a few moments' time. So, if you're all ready for the next step, are you ready, Ben? Yes, Ben, I'm ready. Then let's go. We're 50 minutes in. This is how much I love these shows. I was literally thinking, oh, probably about a quarter of an hour done. 50 minutes into the show.
I know, it goes so fast, doesn't it?
I know, it's flying by. What are we doing next, Jan? Let's crack on.
Right, we're going to do the die cutting next. We're going to use those gorgeous double-sided dies to make some panels. Now, let me just talk you through where I was at with this.
Yes.
My original plan was to have one piece of cardstock with the detail down this side facing outwards. So this edge on the outside. And I did that, and it didn't look right to me. It looked a bit lopsided.
Right.
So it evolved into having 2 separate panels. So again, a different way of making your edgeables. It would look equally as nice if you actually want to put your panels top and bottom.
Yeah.
Obviously not turning the box round because it would open the wrong way. But if you wanted your panel across the top and bottom, it would work just the same with the gap in the middle. So again, have a think and have a play around with it. Again, it doesn't have to be this edgeable. If you haven't got this, if you've just got an ordinary edgeable that cuts one layer, it would work just the same. But we're going to use that brilliant double-sided technology today. So I chose that Pretty Florals one because I was thinking along the lines of gifting this. So I wanted sort of a florally one rather than the hearts and stuff like that. So literally, if we just spend a minute to have a look at the die.
Yes.
If you haven't actually come across these before, just to show you how this technology works. So we've actually got one die with a starting edge here, and it traces all the way around the outside of the die here and stops at this side. Okay? But at the bottom, there's no cutting edge. So it's designed to stay in your card, all right? And then all the little pieces are going to cut out. Now, one side is always what I call more open than if I flip it over and look at the other side. There's much more detail on that side, okay? So in this instance, the detailed part wants to be underneath. And then we're going to overlay the open work so that that detail shows through the gaps. Now, what I always say to people, if you're buying this technology and you've not used it before, is get a couple of pieces of scrap card in different colours and cut out the dies so that you can see how it actually works and which bit needs to be underneath and which bit needs to be on top.
Okay.
Because obviously if you put them the other way around, you're not going to get the same effect, and I'll show you what I mean when we've die cut it. So what I want you to do then is take, first of all, you're going to need 2 clear cutting plates for your chosen machine.
Yes.
So if it's our Gemini, we want the 2 outside cutting plates. And I've got a mixture here. I've got the 2 large cutting plates that are clear. And then you need 2 of your proper double-sided plates.
Yes.
Okay, you can see how well loved mine are. These are mine from home. They've had plenty of use. And I'm going to use, because I'm only cutting strips, I'm going to use my small plates trapped inside the big ones. Works just fine. If you've got the large A4, not floor, A4 double-sided plates, absolutely fine. We just need to be able to trap it in between.
And those will be on the web for you, I'm sure, the double-sided cutting plates. If you haven't got those, you will need to get those with your Edgeables if you want to be able to use those. In fact, yes, on the show are those double-sided plates, and you get a free bag with them as well, which is rather cool. So you've got your storage bag to pop those into, saving a quarter as well, $19.99 or $24.95. Those are your big plates. With the bag, and then we've got the plates for the junior as well, as Jan was just chatting there. $12.99 or $16.95, over 30% off with that free storage bag included too. You will need those to use your double-sided dies. Jan, sorry.
That's quite all right. Yep. So we ended up with 2 pieces that measured 6 by 3 in our white card, and we ended up with 2 pieces that measured 6 by 3 in our plain from the paper pad. So we need 1 of each. We need 1 white and 1 of the plain pink ones, or whatever colour you're working with. Yep. So the idea then is 1 clear cutting plate and then your double-sided plate. I'm going to put the white layer down on the plate, and remember I said I wanted the most open side in this case on the white layer. So this one's going to go face down, and I've just made it the right size, and I'm using the 2 points on the outside edge, the bit that's got the cutting edge on here. I'm just using the 2 points to line up with the outside edge of my card, and then it reaches from one side to the other. And I'm just going to use a little bit of tape to keep that in place. All right, now it will cut through your tape, but I'm not too worried about that, but I want it to stay in place. And then you're going to take the other piece, and we want to cut out that more intricate design in the colour. So first of all, we need to remember to turn this over.
Yeah.
So I want the side that I want to see is the coloured side against my die, and I'm just going to layer it on top and pop another little bit of tape, just again to keep that in place. Okay, and then you need your second special double-sided plate, and then you need your second clear plate, and we're going to run those through our Gemini.
Okay.
All right, so we'll pop those through. And we're going to need to do this twice. We're going to do exactly the same with the other 2 pieces that we've got left, because we need 2 panels that are pretty much identical. So when this comes through here, just take off that sequence of plates there. And we're going to end up with a white piece. Just gently ease it out. And if it's not quite caught the edge, all I'm going to do with my little snips is just snip, because this piece is actually waste.
Okay.
So I don't need that bit. That can go on the waste pile. And you can see we've got that lovely decorative edge coming along there. So when we take all the pieces out of the middle, and I would be keeping these, you know, you've got the perfect beginnings of a flower there.
Yeah, why not?
So why not keep all these in your little bit box? So again, pop all those pieces out, keep them in a little pot or a little bag. You can actually, I'll show you a trick. I've not used them on my project, but I'll show you what I did with the spares if you want to add them on later.
Yeah.
So we've got those. So you can see how gorgeous. I've just snagged mine a little bit with the tape. But if I put it over the pink there, just that layer on its own.
Looks great,
It's quite stunning, isn't it? But when we actually take the next layer off, so when we get the... and if it's just attached to your plate, I usually just lift it with my pokey tool. So again, we're going to take off the tape, take off gently the piece that it's cut.
Yes.
And again, if you've got that little tiny bit still attached, just snip it with your scissors to release it. And you can see we've got this piece here. So when I now sort of layer up, if we go back to the white card here, you can see we've got this one and this one over the top. It's all designed to just create that beautiful drop shadow.
Looks good, doesn't
So
it?
all that work's been done. All you've got to do is pass it through your machine once to get 2 pieces of die, 2 die cut pieces, and they will layer up perfectly to make that design.
Phenomenal technology.
Okay, so we're going to do that again. So
Yes.
I just need a second just to clear out my, because you will get some bits sort of in your die. So they just want to be popped out ready for the next run.
Okay, just whilst you're doing that, there's still loads of lovely messages coming in. Margaret on YouTube saying, great job, Jan and Ben, looking great. And Maggie Fielding on Facebook saying, I love watching the craft alongs, even if I'm not creating the same thing. I'm actually doing a card at the moment. Great to see it in real time. Thank you, Jan, and well done, Ben. Thank you, Maggie. We're having a whale of a time here. I'm loving this. And Sharon Samuels on Facebook saying, these boxes are so pretty. I love the papers that Jan is using. Don't forget, of course, if you do love these craft alongs, if there's particular shows that you love, maybe you're a colorist, you love your Colour Me Happy shows, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, all right? Because if you go there and subscribe, you'll get notifications when new shows pop up. And the other brilliant thing is, once you're subscribed, you can then, of course, scroll back through all of the shows that we've done, over the months and years previous, and then you can kind of make a playlist of your favourite shows. And pretty much, I think you will find shows for everything on our YouTube page. So do have a look. And the great thing, as I say, particularly with these craft alongs, is that once you've kind of bookmarked them and saved them in your little playlist, you can then come back and craft along at your own pace once you've got all the goodies. And if you haven't got the goodies for this, there they are. There we here. $46.50 or $53. There we here. Jan, right? Yes.
I'm literally going to go through that again,
okay.
Because we need two pieces. I thought it's a perfect opportunity to just reinforce that bit in case anybody was struggling with what I did. So again, I've got my clear cutting plate from the Gemini, one of my double-sided plates and my piece of white card. So this was the 6x3 inch. We want the more open side of the detail on there is going to go face down onto my white. And I'm just literally going to pop these 2 points towards one edge, and then center it roughly in between, and pop a little tiny bit of tape just to keep that in place. And then again, we want that decorative side on the pink, so remember to invert that plain panel on the top, and again, just so that it doesn't slip about, just a little bit of tape to anchor it, and then cover it with your second double-sided plate, your second clear plate, and it's going to go through your Gemini to create that second panel.
A couple of questions. One we can probably do whilst you're doing this. Kaz has asked, could you use normal plates and pass the die through twice? I suppose this is referring to your double-sided dies. It won't work, will it? Or will it?
Technically, it wouldn't work without shimming it up. And what you would end up doing, particularly with a Gemini, is embedding the die in your plate, which puts unnecessary stress on here. They are meant to be used with the double-sided cutting plates. And once you've got these, I mean, I've had these since this technology was launched, which Craig and I were working out this morning, is over 12 months ago. And these are my original plates. Yeah? I haven't renewed them. These are the original ones. I mean, you can see how much they've been used.
Absolutely.
You can see the scarring on them from where they've been used on both sides. And when you look at those there, those are my original ones. So they are going to last a long time. They're worth investing in. Yeah,
and for $12.99 today, 30% off, and you get a free storage bag. I think it's definitely worth spending that extra few quid to make sure that you are, doing what you should be doing, really. $12.99 or $16.95 with a free storage bag for the junior plates, and then we've got the Gemini plate as well for $19.99 or $24.95, again with a free storage bag, so definitely worth investing in those. And just as we see Jan just trimming there as well, there's another question about the dies. Jodie's asked, could you foil press with the double-sided dies?
I would say no.
Not really,
Mainly because of that double-sided technology. The last thing you would want to do is damage the silicon heat pad on your foil press. Because they've got die cuts on both die sort of outlines on both sides, you would get one side coming up through your card, but there would be fear of the other side damaging that silicon plate. So I wouldn't.
We recommend no.
I'd be a bit hesitant about that. Any of your normal thin metal dies, go for it. See what kind of effect you get. But I think the double-sided technology, I would be a bit worried about my foil press in that respect. Right, so again, we just need to take the pieces out of that last one. So again, just gently tease it out of your die, and you've got that lovely filigree piece that we need.
Yes.
I'll not bother cleaning that one out just yet because we can move on now. We've done the die cutting. So, is everybody with me?
We're with you.
We're
Everybody,
with
you
you.
with Jan? They say yes. They say yes.
Just going to get rid of all the rubbish for now.
Okay,
I did say to hang on to the flowers, but I know that I don't need them in this case. I know. I've got loads of them at home. So you should have ended up with two pieces that if you have got them the same way, they look the same.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to turn one of them round, which is quite nice because you've got sort of like the opposite effect. So you've got the large one here and the large one comes to the top. They actually fit together quite nicely. So I've actually got my fine tip applicator glue. Alternatively, you can use your dotty tape pen, whichever you prefer. And on the back of the white piece, okay, I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap card just to work on. And very, very lightly, with the dotty tape pen, you're actually going to pop this on the back of your white die cut piece. So just gentle with the dots and just catching it. Try and make sure you've got the edges, if nothing else, because you want it all to stick.
Yes.
And then this will line up perfectly. If I do it over the white, you can see there. If you lay it onto the edge gently, it lines up perfectly with the pink piece. But you get that beautiful sort of shadow effect underneath.
Yes.
So when those are stuck together, now don't worry if you get a little tiny gap. It's like I've got a wee bit of pink, and can you just see there stuck out at the edge? Sometimes, you know, we were talking about this earlier, when you're using die cutting systems, it can just stretch your card a little bit. But the simple solution to that is to take your scissors and just trim that pink bit out so that you've got the white on top. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. So again, the white piece, using that dotty tape pen, I'm just going to pop a little bit, just making sure that I've caught those edges in particular, because we want those, if it's going to be a gift for someone, the last thing you want is bits falling apart when you've gifted it to someone. And again, we're going to take that one over that pink one. I tend to use these edge pieces. So I'm going to go with that large flower and line the edge piece up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down to this one and line the edge up, and you're pretty much safe that the rest of it just falls into place.
Perfect.
And give that a good squeeze together. And again, can you just see I've got that little tiny sliver of pink at the top. So don't worry if that happens. Just get them scissors out and snip it away so that you can't see it. So you should end up with two beautiful die cut edgeable panels there, and I think they are really, really pretty.
They're stunning.
So whatever you've chosen, I'd love to see what people have used actually, because I know not everybody will have these, but if you're crafting along with us and you've chosen a different edgeable or even a different one from this range, can't wait to see what people have been doing with them.
Yep, we'll see your pictures very soon. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is that email address just to get ready to take your pictures of your makes for when we finish the craft log. I kind of feel that we're getting close to the end of this,
aren't we? We are getting close, yeah. We've not done bad at all there for time, have we? I've only got one more demo.
Oh, we can eat a bit of chocolate in between times,
Yeah, a bit of chocolate in between, yeah. Right, so I've taken my front piece that we decorated. I've got my ribbon on the right-hand side, and I've got my spine and my glue tab on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And what we're actually going to do is pop these, and again, I've made them just the right size to leave a little grey border all the way round. Now, you can go vertical, or like I said before, they would look just as nice this way. Now then, the measurements are slightly different on the width, so you wouldn't get the border around it if you went that way. They would fit edge to edge.
Yeah.
Okay, which is not a problem. But I'm going to stick with my vertical design that I did on the original one.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm going to stick with that dotty tape pen.
Alrighty.
I'm going to bring my scrap back in there, and again, a nice good coverage on the back of those. It almost seems sacrilege. I always think when it's double-sided
I know,
papers,
you're using such a lovely piece.
I just think, oh, we're covering that piece up and it's beautiful. So again, just pop plenty of glue down on there. Make sure we've not got any sticky bits in there. And then I'm going to pop one. And as I say, it's just been designed so that you've got sort of that 1/4 of an inch border all the way around, and pop that one down in place there. So make sure it's all stuck down well. As I say, if you're going to gift this, you don't want it falling apart.
No.
And then we're going to do the same on the second one.
Okay.
So again, just lightly with you. I think my, that's why it's not working.
Mine's gone a bit funny as well.
My
dotty
tape pen. That's why I was
Oh, have you?
struggling. I want the dots. That's why the last one didn't work very well.
Oh, mine's
know?
gone, I think.
Has it?
Yeah. Can I use I can't really use the normal one, can I? But
No, you would be better with the, if I pop this on the end of here,
All right.
then do you want to come and do a crafty,
crafty exchange.
a crafty exchange?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that one's going to go on that side with that little gap all the way around again, and give it a good press down. So we've got that front piece just about there now. So that's our decorative element on the front. I like the pink and grey together. That looks quite nice.
Isn't it nice?
Okay, so
Right.
move my scrap card out of the way. It's sticking again. I love that. Make sure it's stuck down.
I like to make sure it's done. There we go. Happy with that. Do you need that back?
No, I think you're okay there. I think I've got another one anyway. So right, I'm going to come to that back piece.
Thumbs up there. Look. Oh, there.
So the last piece was that single piece of white that we had at the beginning that we wrote B for back on.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, I want you to make sure that you've got that slightly taller edge, vertical, shorter edge. And there's only 1/2 inch, I think, difference in it, if I remember rightly.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It is 6 3/4 inches tall by 6 1/2. But if you're not sure, use your front piece, and you want to make sure that these are the same orientation. So that longer side is your vertical side.
Yes.
And we need to pop the other piece of ribbon
Yeah.
on the inside of here. So again, if you want to use your ruler to make a little mark halfway, or you can just eyeball where that centerpiece is, and we're going to stick, I'm going to use my double-sided tape pen again, and I tend to put sort of maybe 2 or 3 layers down,
Right.
just to give that ribbon something to stick to. And again, about 1 inch in, just over there, and give it a really good rub to seal that down. And then this is going to hide underneath the box.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we're now at a point where we can stick these two together.
Right.
So what we're actually going to do is make sure that you've got your ribbon both on the right hand side.
Okay.
And then you've got your glue tab here is basically going to stick onto that left hand side of that piece. All right, so if you remember, we just took those little slivers off the top to save any bits poking out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my tape off there now. Okay, I'm going to fold that edge in, and then I'm going to line it up with the left hand side of my square that we've just added the ribbon onto. So I folded the tab underneath with the sticky on, and I've actually stuck it to the edge of that square. And once you're happy with it, again, it wants a really good seal in place.
All right.
And
So
as
if
I say, any adhesive like this, the heat from your fingers just gives it that, telling it what to do. Be the boss.
Yeah.
Okay? So you've now actually got your little book part there with the inch spine inside. You've got the ribbons on the right-hand side ready to close it
I think
with.
I've done it. Have I done that right? I have, haven't I?
Yeah, so it should open up like a book. You should have your patterning on the left there. Yep, and then
Yeah.
you've got a blank piece here.
Get on, Mosby.
So we're now going to bring the box element,
Right.
and the side that we didn't decorate
Yes.
is actually going to butt up against that spine.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I see. I see.
Now, for this one, I do recommend the Kalal glue. I know, I think I only gave you a tape pen, didn't I,
Yes.
Ben? It will work with the tape pen, but again, I'll pass you this over in a second.
Okay.
Purely because our Kalal glue sets like cement. So bearing in mind that this is actually going to be a workable project, and it's going to have something in that's got a little bit of weight to it, again, you want to make sure that it's going to stay where you put it. And it also, by using the Kalal, it gives you that time to wiggle it into place. So underneath, on the bottom, all over the bottom of it, I'm going to stick the Kalal. And on this instance, quite liberal. Not too much near the edges so it doesn't squeeze out.
Don't want the
but
mayo
on the
effect.
base, I do want it to be quite a liberal amount of glue so that we're going to get it stuck down.
Right.
Okay, so you can just see there how much I've actually put on. And then when you stick it in, make sure you've got that plain edge coming to the centre. And this is designed, again, to be just 1/4 inch all the way round, but you're going to butt it up against the score line. And if you're not sure where it needs to be, close your box halfway so that you can push this side up against it. And then just eyeball that you've got about the same all the way round. And that's the beauty of the Kalal, is that you get a couple of minutes to wriggle it around before it sets.
Shall I use the glue? Shall I use the tape pen then for now, for ease?
Yes, if you can do it on the, is it okay on the back of the hollow box with the tape pen?
Oh, actually. Oh, it might be a bit, I might squash the box. So I'll get some glue.
Let me just slide you.
You're all right, no, don't worry.
There you go.
No,
I have spares. Have you done it?
No, I'm using the dotty pen. Oh, I've used the wrong one. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm doing it.
I've let him down. I didn't give him the right equipment.
No, don't worry. You've done brilliant, Jen. There's no blame on you here at all.
So again, just give that time for that to set. And while that's setting, I'm going to come to the spine element. I actually want to stick that in. So if you look at my original one here, when it opens, it just opens to this side. It doesn't flop open with the spine separate. So again, I'm going to use my red line tape for that one. So on the spine here,
hey!
Have you got it right up to your spine? Brilliant. Did you stick your plain side to the inside? You got all your 3 sides decorated? He's a star. Look at that. Excellent.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey. And I'm working the overhead camera as well. Look at me go. Look at this. Look at that.
And then on the spine that's left in the middle here, just making sure it doesn't stick all the way to the end because you don't want it to show on that 1/4 inch. I'm going to pop some of my red line tape just up to the score line again, and I'm going to finish it before it pops out at this side. You don't want it to show right at the ends of your card because obviously when we fold it up there's still a little bit showing. All right, so I'm going to pop my tape in there. There's not quite room for 2 lots of that one, so I'm going to use a thin band of tape just to do that second piece there. That should be enough to hold it. And again, because this is a working sort of mechanism, people are going to open and close the box, open and close it. You want to make sure that this is stuck in well. So you can just see there where I've put my tape in. And then when you're happy, the secret with the red line tape, Ben, is to give that red line a really good press to get rid of any air bubbles.
All right.
And then once you've done that, you should be able to get the edge of it to release.
Okay.
So take your red line off there. And then we should be able to just hold the inside of the box with my fingers there. And then you're going to press this one right up against the box there.
Okay.
And give it a really good press. And if need be, you can turn it on its edge. You can even get your bone folder in there if you have one and give it a really good press down. You can see there where I'm just pressing that inside edge. You don't want that to come apart. And then you've actually got your gift box pretty much at the ready there. So you should still have your ribbons on the right hand side. I love that pressing down technique.
It's good. It's a good one. It's a new technique. He's
invented his own technique.
Yeah.
So you can see there that it opens up. You've got that lovely space inside to write your message, and you've got room inside here to just slot. And these are 110 gram bars of my favourite chocolate.
Right.
Yeah, and they just sit. It's been designed for those to fit in there nicely.
Just need the I'll just. There you go. It's not. Mine's not. So, well, I mean, it's pretty good. I'd rather have the chocolate, if I'm being honest.
The right colour.
Yeah.
But a bit sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recommend eating that.
So the last thing we're going to do then is just the decoration. So we're going to create a sentiment to just go in the middle of there now. So again, I asked you to bring a chosen sentiment. I've actually used, I love this stamp sets. We did a range of these in all different. So there was a thank you, there was a birthday one, we've got a just for you one. And these are ones again that I keep near. We were talking about this earlier with Craig. There's certain things that you keep near your desk because I dip into them all the time. So I'm actually going to just use a just for you, and I'm going to use this little one at the bottom here. So we're going to stamp that out with some black ink.
Yeah.
And we should have a scrap of card left from what you cut earlier. So I'm going to do it on the stamping card. I'm going to bring in my stamp platform and ink. Okay. If you've got it, I didn't put this on the list actually, but if you have got it, you can use your stamping mat. If you haven't got a stamping mat, just a few layers of cardstock to give it a little bit of give. Okay, ink up your stamp. And then we're going to stamp this out ready to die cut and make our sentiment. So normally these are the bits that I would normally have prepped in a demo. You know, we all know how to stamp a sentiment, but I wanted to do this in real time for that you see how we actually put them together. I think we're doing okay for time, aren't we? So here we go. We've got just for you on there. All right. And then I also suggested that we used our nesting dies to cut it out. Now, if you haven't got nesting dies, you could draw around something. You could just make it square with your guillotine. It doesn't have to be a circle. But I actually chose some of my nesting dies that were just the right size. I think it was that one. Yep. And then I'm going to cut a scrap of the plain pink that I had left in one of the scalloped ones just to fit underneath. So I think it was that one. Yep. So again, I'm just going to cut a piece off there for that one. And then run these through the Gemini. So again, a little tiny bit of tape, particularly for the one with the sentiment on, because if I don't tape it down, you can guarantee it goes through the thing and it comes out like that. Yeah. Because the die slipped and I've lost a bit off my sentiment.
That's
so I have
happened a few times recently, yeah.
From doing that in the past that it is worth taking the time to just pop. This one's not so bad, but again, it'll come out like this with half of it missing. Can bet your life, particularly how I work at home because my Gemini's behind me. So I get everything inside the plate, spin round to the Gemini, and usually something's shifted along the way. So again, I've got my...
I love that. You're spinning around in your chair at home, are you?
I do, yes.
Front and spin round
I started out spinning round in my chair.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of very carefully moved because there's so many bits and pieces in there that... I'm struggling to move. Let me just find, I need that plastic shim as well. So I'm going to pop on my cutting plate.
With these boxes as well, I'm just thinking, like, I'm obviously great with chocolate in. Will just saying I'd rather have the tape pens than chocolate as I'm always running out of them. I think these would be good as well for the jigsaws. If you put your jigsaw dies recently.
Your jigsaws in it, you know, if you don't like the chocolate bars, it could be sweets inside there, it could be a piece of jewellery, it could be a lovely scarf. They make a really nice gift box.
Yeah.
I just chose the chocolate because I know we've done it in the past as a chocolate box. So I'm literally just going to pop my layers on there. I've just gone through to the smaller plates because we've only got a small element to cut out. And then we'll finish that off and I'll show you how to tie those ribbons.
Brilliant.
So I can get rid of the mat there. We can take these out. And again, we've got our sentiment there at the ready. Don't make the mistake of throwing your scrap card away with your die attached to it. We've been there as well, and I've ended up rummaging through the bin looking for the die because I thought, oh, the last time I saw it, it was stuck to a piece of card. So, you know, we all do this. There'll be people laughing at home saying, oh, I've done that. Same as sticking your paintbrush in your coffee instead of your pot of water. Oh, that's happened many a time before as well, Ben.
Oh, dear.
So again, on the back of your stamped element, I'm just going to go, you can use your tape pen. I just happen to have that Kalal still open from earlier. And we're going to pop that one on top. And you just get a little tiny bit of that scalloped bit round back. Okay. And then I'm going to show you my newfound discovery. And these are actually on our website. If you were watching me at the weekend, you will have heard me talk about them. But I found in my cupboard, in my stash, that I've had sat there all along, A4 sheets of foam pad. All right, and there's different thicknesses, and it comes as a big A4 sheet, and you just cut down to whatever size because you know me and my foam pads.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a bit of an issue, don't I? So this, you literally just cut down whatever size you need. So you can cut a thin strip or a larger piece. It's a little bit big. So that bit I can save for something else. You take one side off the top, which I normally do with my tweezers. The shiny side I normally take off with the tweezers there, look. Yeah. I'm going to stick that on the back like so. And then this side, literally, how much easier is that? Oh, bless that
compared to the other week.
I'm sold. Wow. I'm going to have to order this in shed loads of amounts so that I've got plenty of stash. So just on the front there, I went for the centre. You know, you might want to pop it down one side. I can say, there's no rules.
Centre's good.
You go for what pleases you. Or if you think, you know, if it's for someone, what you think they would like. So I'm just going to go for the centre there, press that on. Yeah. And then the last thing, I did put on that these were not essential. And this is something you can do in your own time. But I love my gems and things. So again, I've just gone for the centre of some of the flowers with the gems. And then the pieces that we actually had as waste in the die here. So for example, I've got one with there. Just every now and again, I've actually turned them over and actually inserted a little bit of the pattern bit. Oh, okay. Again, just to add.
That's quite nice.
To that, you know, that design. Again, these are all optional. They're not essential. Little bit of gems on there and you've got your decoration done. And then the last bit we're going to do, and I always sort of bring this facing me. Yeah. You're going to turn it over as if you were going to tie a knot. Okay. Make your loop on one side. And instead of tying your shoelace where you go underneath, I always bring my ribbon over the top. Pop your other loop through and you get a nice flat bow. And then if you want to trim the edges there, that's entirely up to you. But you've got your beautiful gift there, all ready to give to someone, whether it be for Mother's Day this weekend, whether it's an Easter treat, or whether it's just a gift to say thank you to somebody. It's there for you to use. And it's quite a substantial, you know, piece of work. Because we use the stamping card in the beginning, you've got 300 GSM cardstock in there, so you know that it's going to be quite robust. All right. I wouldn't necessarily recommend posting it because obviously this top bit's a little bit sort of, there's a bit of give in it. But this for me would be something that I was hand delivering. So you could either wrap it or you could make another external box to pop it in. But yeah, absolutely. Bit of fun. Open it up there and then you've got that lovely gift. And all I did in the back of the contemporary watercolour pad, you've got all those beautiful die cuts in the back.
Oh yes, of course.
So I just pinched a couple out of here. I just pinched the little hearts there. And I've just stuck those just as extra decoration on the chocolate there. But again, those bits are optional. They're not a necessity, if I can say it, a necessity. Yeah. So well, yeah, that's your chocolate box in a card.
That, Jan, is absolutely
Look at that. Well done, you.
I'm very pleased with that. I mean, again, great teacher. Very happy with that. As I say, all mine needs is just the chocolate to go on the inside. But thoroughly enjoyed that. What a
fabulous job.
Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yep.
Brilliant. A few comments from you. Send your pictures in. By the way, Val, you sent us an email, but you haven't attached the picture. I do that all the time. So listen, if you have just crafted along with us, please send in your pictures and we will see all of those in just a few moments' time. I tell you what, I'll read some comments out in just a few moments, but let's all have a little bit of a break and sit back and marvel at our amazing projects that we've made over the last hour and a half. And whilst we do that, here is some information about our little club.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to Silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a Gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order and will ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a Platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a Gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
Oh, what a brilliant show this has been. I'm going to run through a few of the deals with you in just a few moments' time, but thank you for all of the comments. I feel like I've not kept up with these because I've been having so much fun crafting along with Jan. Brenda on YouTube just saying, Jan, talented. I just love watching her. Jan always has the best pro tips for us newbies. June on YouTube, love the double-sided dies. So unique and such a bargain. I think they're a great price on a normal day, but to get them today for the deal that you're seeing there, $46.50 or $53 is phenomenal. And Martha Hampton on Facebook. Martha, you messaged in, I think, or did you say it was your first message or your first show that you watched? I've read a message from you earlier, but you say, I'm dyslexic, so your craft alongs are so great. I still have time to watch them on the backtrack because it takes me longer with being dyslexic to get all the measurements correct. Well, Martha, that's it, but that is great to hear, that the fact that you know, the fact that we're doing it at a slower pace, the fact that you can watch it in your own time is brilliant. And that, again, is one of the reasons why we do these, because we know that, you know, not everybody can craft along at 100 miles an hour. Some people are a lot slower, like me. So it's great to know that these craft alongs are brilliant for everybody. Lots of love for the double-sided dice. Lisa says, these are fab, make it easy to make cards. Thanks for all the details on using double-sided dice, says Linda. And then just lots of love for the boxes. Deborah, yeah, like I suggested, puzzles would be great to go in this box. Karen saying, I'm really wishing I had the cross die. This would make such a lovely Easter box too. I think that cross die is still available. You might have to check on the web. We had it yesterday. It may well have gone because they were flying out. Deb just saying, thank you, Jan. I will try this weekend. And Molly Hannah saying, I think this would be a great box for a set of handmade cards. Loads of love coming in for this show and loads of love for all of the demos as well. If you have been watching and you think, well, hang on a minute, I haven't got the double-sided Edgeables and I want to do the craft along, how do I get them? Well, you basically take advantage of this deal. It's a great day to buy them, let me just say to you, because it is a half-price deal. As we've seen, if you are buying your double-sided dice for the first time, you will need to pop into your basket the double-sided plates, which I'll give you the details on in just a second. But this is the collection that we were using the dice from just a few moments ago. So within it, you get your dancing butterflies. As Jan was so brilliantly showing you, you've got that one die with the two different designs on either side. Choose the cardstock you want to use either side, and it will cut you the two different designs for you to be able to layer these up and give you that fantastic dimension. There are your pretty florals, which we saw just a few moments ago. You're also going to get within this set your diamond lattice. You're going to get your shining stars and your lily borders. And then on top of that, you've got your gorgeous fleur-de-lis that you can see there. So many really cute designs. This one's beautiful as well. Those gorgeous hearts, as you can see, if I just pop that one up for you there, how they all layer together. I like the fact as well that we've used that over the top of the card and then just down the bottom there as well, using the little embellishments to create a little stopper. And then you finally got your garden border across the top there too. Great day to get it, as I say, $46.50 or $53 is the deal on that. Take another 20% off if you're a Platinum member. $37.20 or $42.40 is the deal on that. Right, we've also got other double-sided die deals on the show for you too. My workstation is a right old mess today with all the crafting which has been going on. But if you love the idea of the double-sided dies and you want a way to be able to create kind of like, you know, full cards in one pass if you like, then these are brilliant because these are the double-sided layerable creator card dies, and they are super cool, as you can see here with your butterfly kaleidoscope. It's the same kind of system if you like, it's the same kind of idea, the fact that you've got that one die to pass through to give you the two different cuts, and as you can see here, choosing the card slot that you want to use, layering up and creating what really is a gorgeous card front. That's why these are called the creator cards, because you've got something there straight away. Obviously you can build on top of that should you want to. Next on top of that, you're going to get again your retro florals, some beautiful designs as far as that is concerned. Again, one die, two different designs, one pass gives you that beautiful cut. This is gorgeous as well with lots of love. Again, those hearts, you can see when you piece them together, it fills in some of the hearts that you've got on the first layer, which is really clever. Then you've got your stargazing. Again, something for each and every occasion with these creator cards. Love that. Love how the two different cuts again pair up to create that really intricate design. Then you've got your decadent deco. Again, something a little bit different there too. And on top of that, you are also going to get your Opulent Tiles, which is this one just here. Again, super deal on that. It is a half price deal once again, really. £70 or $85 should be $150 or $180, give or take a few pence and cents. That, in my math as well, comes down to £56 if you're shopping with us in the US, or at $68. So again, if you love your double-sided technology, make sure you grab these two. Now, we've got the window dies on the show for you as well, all double-sided. And if you thought those last deals were good, this one is an over half price deal on these. You're going to get within this collection your cherry blossom window. You've got your lily, also your peony, your rose, your tulip, and that water lily window as well. Deal on that should be $137.94 or $155.70. It's 60 or 70 today, which comes down to £48 or $56. Phenomenal value for money. Now, as I mentioned, if you are buying the double-sided dies for the first time and you want to get the very best out of them, you need to get these plates. Great day to buy them though, because you've got a quarter savings, so 25% off. And you're going to get a free storage bag to put them in too. So if you've got the big Gemini, then these are the plates to go for. So $19.99 or $24.95 is the deal there. The junior plates also available for you. I think that's a phenomenal buy today. $12.99 or $16.95. Once again, we're throwing in the storage bag for absolutely no charge also. Now, we've got some cardstock on the show for you as well. The Centura Pearl, really gorgeous is this. Three gorgeous colours within that collection. You're going to get your pistachio, you've got your chartreuse, and your cool green as well. $5.98. Wow, 30 sheets, 10 sheets of each. $5.98 or $8.98 is the deal on that. Once again, take another 20% off that, and that price comes down even further for you. And then we've got the warm card collection, which is your fuchsia, which is also your cherry, and your gold. Again, $5.98 for 30 sheets of Centura Pearl, 10 of each, making you 30. That is $5.98 or $8.98. The layerables, of course, back to those which we are going to be looking at in just a few moments' time. Thank you for all the messages coming in still. Christine Jamal just saying, a brilliant show, helps me relax even if I wasn't making your make. We can come back and do it again very soon. And Susan Mason Buckley on Facebook saying, great craft along with Jan. Look forward to making this over the weekend. Jan, you are an excellent teacher, so thank you. One final question before we just move on to another demo. Molly Hannah has asked on YouTube, can you use double-sided dies in the Midi?
No.
Oh yeah, because you haven't got the plates, have you?
I haven't tried it. Now you've got the Midi, because it's got the folder in it, you've got the access to cut the both sides. So from that point of view, you're not going to be damaging anything you shouldn't be. It's whether the thickness is right, because if you think you've normally got two clear cutting plates plus the 2 double-sided plates, you might need to shim it up, but then I would shim it on the outside, because if you put it inside, it's going to affect your die cut. So you'd have to have a play around with that one.
Yeah.
I haven't got the Midi yet. It's on my wish list, so I can't actually test that out for you. But yeah, just try it and be careful. I mean, the worst it's going to do is damage your folder, and those are replaceable. So I don't think it'll damage your machine.
Hey, I've got a Midi.
If there's any resistance in it going through the machine, then don't go there.
I've still got Craig's Midi at home, so maybe if I got a double-sided die, I could take it home and try it for you. But then again, Craig might get cross if it didn't work and I broke his folder, so maybe I won't. Anyway, let's have a look at these. So the double-sided layerable creator cards. So this is the same technology, but in a creator card style die, isn't it?
It is, yes. So the creator card, you know, we're known for those. They're literally what it says on the tin. You've got the means of actually making essentially a topper that is going to be the focal point of your card. So on this one, we've got that lovely floral design on there. I was very tempted to go for that one for the demo, but I thought as soon as we just used the florals on the craft along, I did actually stop myself, and I've gone for something different. So yeah, just making it into an easel card there. Again, nice 6x4 size, so they're a good size to work with. And it may be that you want to have a play with those gorgeous butterflies. But again, you can see how that top layer overlays the detailed layer underneath. So the yellow layer's underneath, the lilac layer's on the top, and you've got that beautiful design without even having to think about it, you know, and it's just one pass. It amazes me that it's just one pass through the machine. That's the one with the hearts in there.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, whether it be a Valentine or whether it's an anniversary card or whether you just want to send someone some love.
Yeah, why not?
You know, why not? So again, and the die actually, this isn't actually where it hasn't cut. The die actually does leave the odd bit in there, which I quite like. Just makes it look a bit different.
It does, quirky.
This one's very, very sort of, it's almost regal looking, isn't it? That's the...
Deco, is that?
Decadent deco, I think it is, isn't it? Excuse me, I'm losing my voice again.
You've been chatting a lot, to be fair, over the last hour and a half,
Because it's so
Jan.
dry.
Do you want a minute, or you're all right?
I'm there, I'm good. Then we've got the Opulent Tiles there. Again, it's like an optical illusion.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got one layer at the back, one layer at the front,
like a
and I
hologram.
love that design. And then I'm actually going to demo with the stars there. So again, that's one version of it. We're going to use that lovely, cool card tone pack that the girls have put together. I love the colours in that. Okie dokes.
I tell you what, we'll let you get set for your demo and have a little glass of water, and are we going to announce the winner? Let's do that. Our National Craft Month, we'll say not our National Craft Month, it is, oh, poor blimey, Johnny, the size of this pile. Right, the prizes on this have been absolutely ridiculous. So we're giving you this huge stamp. You've got some dies in here. You've got the badge as well, the little Crafter's Companion badge. No one's got that. I really want one of those badges. Craig was fuming earlier, apparently, that he didn't have one. So you've got that, and then have a look at what else you're going to win. You've got your Knitwit Bloom with Grace paper pad, and then, oh my goodness, I mean, there's so much here. You've got stamp and die sets. Look at that one there, your gorgeous cascading hearts die. You've then got, that one from Sharon Callis's from the Heart collection, gorgeous stamps in there. More dies, more gorgeous floral stamps. There's butterfly stamps in there. We've got, from the, what range is this? It's the flowers for each month of the year. Your December, your Narcissus. You've got your Make-A-Wish die there. I mean, there's more Knitwit stuff. You've got your Bloom with Grace stamps in there too. I mean, seriously, what a bundle. All of this we are giving away to one lucky winner. No, I haven't seen those other, Johnny, to be honest with you. The ice cream cone.
We still think there's a secret stash somewhere.
Like a secret cupboard.
Yeah.
Dancing dragonfly.
Craig and I were going to go on a bit of a prowl and see if we could find it.
I'm not being funny. There must be a prize cupboard somewhere, because I mean, honestly, I said it last time. I'll say it again. I thought when I saw the first day of these, the prizes that we were giving away, I thought it was going to be like that was a prize for one day, but that is the prize for today, and we're announcing the winner in this show. In fact, we're going to do it right now. The winner is somebody who commented on the show. Congratulations to Joyce Walker. Joyce, yes, these goodies
Well
are
done.
all yours. So you commented on Facebook during this show, so congratulations. All those goodies will be winging their way to you. If you want to claim them. To claim them, all you have to do is get in touch with us on our email address there, prizes@crafterscompanion.com, and we will arrange getting all those prizes sent out to you. Congratulations. Don't forget as well, more chances to win tomorrow on every day during National Craft Month. And we've got the deal for you, the competition for you on our website as well, where someone is going to walk away at the end of the month with a Gemini Pro, which is amazing. More on that perhaps a little bit later, but we have a final demo to squeeze in the last 15 minutes or so. Back to the Creator Card double-sided dies.
I'm just thinking it might be a wheel away with the Pro, Ben. I wouldn't want to carry it very far. It's a monster.
It is an absolute monster, isn't it?
The monster of all die cutting
beast,
machines.
as they're calling it now, the beast.
Right, so we're going to finish off the show today then with those, we're going to carry on with the double-sided technology, but these are the Creator Card. And this is the stargazing one that we looked at in that sample a little while ago. So again, that patented technology, it's exactly like we just did with the Edgeables, but this time you've got it in sort of a 6x4 inch size that is suitable to do the front of a card with. And that's pretty much what we're going to do. I've made a stepper card and this is going to be my focal panel on there. So again, you have got one element on one side and this has a full cutting edge. So it's going to cut it out in that rectangular panel. And then when I flip it over, you can see that we've got the lesser sort of design on the reverse of it. So one pass through the machine is going to cut both of those patterns out. And again, I think this was a lovely choice. The girls did a great job with this. I just think those three colours, you've got that lovely Christmas green, or it's almost like a racing green there. You've got the pistachio, and I can never pronounce this one. Is it chartreuse or chartreuse?
Chartreuse, isn't it?
Yes, it's a bit French, isn't it? Chartreuse. But I love that colour. But I just thought together they look stunning. So this is going to be my back panel because you will see all the way through some of this element. So you'll be able to see the dark green in the background, and then we're going to cut the two sides out of that piece there. So let's have a little look then. So we actually want to make sure again that we get sort of the colours the right way round, and I want the darker one in the background and this to be in the foreground. And again, if you weren't watching earlier in the show, the way round it, I mean, it does show you on the packaging that you need one side plus two sides equals the full finished project. But if you're not sure with it, get a couple of bits of scrap card in two separate colours and cut them out and see which one is which, and then you can mark one as front or top, one as bottom, and then keep them together in your packet with your die so that next time you don't have to go through that element of working out, oh well, which side do I cut on which side. So again, with that technology, we do need those double-sided cutting plates. So I'm going to bring my well-loved ones back again. They've still got some work left in them. And if you're using a Gemini, you will need the two clear cutting plates from your Gemini. So literally, clear cutting plate, one of the double-sided plates, and then I want the green, the green, that was good, wasn't it? I want the green.
Which one?
The whole green, yeah. It's getting a long time. I've been at it since 9 o'clock this morning. Forgive me. I want the pistachio green on the bottom.
Yeah.
And the bottom one is going to be the one with the least amount of cutting.
Okay.
All right, so that one is going to go face down onto there. I'm going to get a little bit of tape at the ready just to tape them both together. And then the one tip I can give you with this is rather than putting your colour down, you need to make sure you invert it.
Right.
Because we would normally cut on the coloured side of the card. If you cut it this way, it will still do the same job, but you're going to get that sort of, the dies always seem to round the edges, and it's almost like the reverse of it. So I'm going to turn the colour down, pop that over the top, and I've just cut these slightly bigger than the die. These measure about 4.5 by 6.5, just so that I can trap the die in between. And I've taped it down, my second double-sided plate, and then my other clear plate. All right, now these will fit through your Junior, but I've just had my big Gemini out most of the day, so for the last time we'll pop that through on there. And then you're going to get two. I just love the fact that you get both of these pieces cut in one pass through your machine. The first time I saw this, I was like, wow. And like Ben said earlier, we've patented this technology so that it is exclusive to
You will see it
Crafter's
nowhere else.
Companion. So let's just take those off. Whoops, we've got one come with it. Okay, it just by cutting them a bit bigger as well, you get a lovely little frame.
Yeah.
So you know where that bit's going, don't you?
In your
That's going in my to use
box.
later pile. Yep.
Yep.
And the same with this side. I've got another one there, look. So yep. And we've got what we need on the back there. So just pop those plates to one side so that we can work with the panels. And this, you get loads and loads of little bits that you can use as shaker elements. So if you wanted to make a shaker card, you can literally pop all these stars and bits back inside. But I'm just going to, for the sake of demo today, we're just going to pop all those bits out. But you can see how easy they've cut. But again, there's lots of elements in there that you can be using as decoration, or as I say, save all the little stars if you're wanting to make a shaker card. So just to pop those out. So this is the more decorative one, which I'm going to use at the front. And then if we just get all those out.
It's quite satisfying watching you poke all the bits and pieces out.
It's
and then
quite therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to be careful not to get too giddy and stab yourself with the poker tool. And again, I'm talking from it. I know these things because I've done all these things myself. You know, I'm not just making it up. It's
I
like,
love the paintbrush in the coffee, the best. That's my favourite one.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, the paintbrush. Yeah, a cup of coffee and your pot that you've got your water in.
Yeah.
It's not the first time. It's been back in the cup of coffee. Yeah. I've not yet noticed and drank said cup of coffee, but yeah, I've usually noticed when I've done it.
Yeah.
But again, this one, you've got all those, again, lovely little stars there, look, that you can use. And I have used some for decoration on the project. So again, just pop all these out. If you've got your die brush, you can use your die brush to just run over here. But I've got my pokey tool handy there. And you can see how easy they're coming out. There's no struggling or wrestling. The Centura Pearl cuts like butter in the die cutter.
That deal is on the show as well, by the way.
Totally clean, ready to use next time.
Yes.
So pop that one back on there so that I don't lose it. And then this is where the magic happens. So I've got two chances of getting it the right way round. You can bet the first one isn't the right. Well, I don't know. We might be. Oh, is it the right way?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Oh, there's one hiding in there, look.
Yeah.
If I turn it round, you can see they don't quite line up here. Look in the middle. So there is a right way with it, and I was lucky I was right first time. But I just think that is a stunning piece of technology.
Great.
And then when you bring that other layer, I said you could see through it, you're getting that dark green layer to come through there. It looks beautiful. So I have done that at home. I've done exactly that, and I've stuck the two pieces together.
Okay.
And again, you've got choices there. You can use your dotty tape pen, brilliant on the back of here. You could use spray adhesive on the back of there. You can use your fine tip applicator and dab round it with your wet glue if that's what you prefer. So lots of options there. And all I've done is popped a piece of ribbon round there because I want to make a little feature on the front there. So I'm going to stick this onto my panel that I've made, and I've actually put, oh look, my foam that I've actually chopped up, look Ben, and I've got, look, it's honestly, it's going on everything now.
I know.
Now I've actually got to a point
it.
where I can get the backs off, look, without having to panic. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work?
It's all that hanging out you've been doing with Craig, you see, over the day today. And that's just worth mentioning too, because you're obviously back here at 7 o'clock, but pre-recorded. Virtually, you're here, but you're not here. By the powers of technology, you'll be here. Is it an hour you recorded with Craig earlier on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Because we're obviously getting ready for our US warehouse clearance, which I know a lot of our UK viewers will probably be jumping over to watch as well. That starts at 8 o'clock UK time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we have got lots and lots of deals to get through on that, myself and Sarah. But as I say, Creative Cravings is coming away from 7 tonight, a 1 hour pre-recorded special. He was pretty good, I heard, this side of the studio, by all accounts. Oh, you're sorry, you didn't. I'm
just adopting your technique there.
Good
Ben.
at it. It's good at it.
Just make sure it's stuck down.
Absolutely.
So again, I've just created some mats and layers. I've made myself a little stepper card.
Yeah.
Just out of some stamping card there. Just put my slit in and scored. And I've chosen some paper again that I had out on the side. It depends what I've been working on as to what paper pads lying around. And I think if I remember rightly, this one is from the quintessentially English one, I think, with the silver foiling.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. So I've matting and layering. I've got a piece for the front there. I have got a piece that goes down the side panel there. That one's just going to slot down there. And then, like I said, all those stars that came out, I've just used a few there for decoration on that last little piece that's going to go on the front. So you can use as many as you want. You can pop some on the inside if you want.
Yeah.
That's going to go on the front there. And then my panel is actually going to go as the feature.
Fantastic.
So I'm just going to hold it here because I only want glue up to about there.
Yes.
Not on the top bit. So again, drag and flick just to get plenty of glue on the back there. And we're going to stick that one as a panel on there. And then in my stash, which I'm sure you've all got access to, I just happen to have some star dies.
Oh, perfect.
Got a little set of nesting dies that are stars. So I've cut one in the, look, they're everywhere, look. I've got one in the pattern paper and just popped a button on there.
Love that.
I was just saying to Craig earlier, I says I've been trying to concentrate on doing some maybe a bit more masculine designs.
Oh, okay.
We get asked all the time about cards for guys, and they always seem to be harder to make than others. And I think stars are a great one to go down for the fellas.
Yes.
And again, It's Your Time to Shine is just from one of the stamp sets and matted and layered on that lovely dark green. And I'm just going to pop that one on the side there. And we've got that lovely, if I turn that round for our Charlotte, we've got that lovely stepper card on there with that lovely stargazing double-sided die.
You'll have to let us know very quickly which demo you liked from the show the best, whether it was the card or the box that we did along. I'm kind of thinking producer Johnny's just gone, it's both the boxes, they've got to go on surely. I think we'll go with that. I'll put mine up again. Oh, I was just thinking, Jan, with all of the extra stars that you've had that have been cut out, maybe you want to put another little star by my name over there on the board.
Oh, shall I?
Yeah,
shall I
go
stick
on.
one of these on?
Yes.
These nice bright green ones?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Ben.
Did you used to do that as a teacher, have the stars that you used to stick in the...
Oh, I used to have those because I used to work with a lot of children that had special educational needs or learning difficulties. I used to have lots of sort of little schemes. We used to have, what did we have? Mrs. Brown's, there were Mrs. Brown's boys, obviously, a take on the, because a lot of them were boys. What was the, we did one that had flowers on the wall.
Yeah.
They had little flowers on the wall, each of the guys that I was working with, the little guys, and their achievement was a little buzzy bee to stick on the flower. And when they got one for each petal, I used to have a goodie bag that had got all sorts of bits and pieces in, and they had a rummage in the goodie bag and they got a prize.
So that's my second
Comes
star
under
up there.
the heading of bribery.
Yeah. My second star up on the board over there.
I'm
so maybe if
do
I get
it.
a third,
I'm going to find one
I'll
that's
have
a
some
whole
chocolate.
one.
Whilst you're having a rummage for me star, let's have a look at some of the makes that you have been making. Look at these. Val, I love the fact that you have crafted along with us. Brilliant.
Excellent. That is good. I like the... Is that on the paper in there? That paper's beautiful with the image on the side there.
Absolutely
but look at
stunning.
that. Absolutely gorgeous.
And then Terry, I mean,
that
that's
peachy tone.
lovely, isn't it?
Beautiful. She's got the just for you on there. Well done, Terry. I'm loving these.
They're great. And Pam's crafted using slightly
Look,
different
that's the butterfly
dies.
one.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning, it will work with any of those dies. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Cherish every moment. What a beautiful sentiment there, Pam. Well done, guys.
Oh, I'm so pleased that so many of you have been crafting along. And I'm also so pleased. I'm also so pleased that so many of you are able to craft along with us because we do it at such a nice pace for you too, which is brilliant. So thank you so much for sending in all of those pictures. And I know a few more of you will have crafted along and will maybe be sending you pictures at a later date. There we go. Got a second star up there. Another commendation.
An achievement award.
An achievement award.
Yeah.
From Mrs. Brown.
From Mrs. Brown.
Yeah. Oh dear. But how much fun was that? Seriously, I'm with whoever suggested it earlier on. I think if time allows and if our teachers or demonstrators can help us, we should definitely, as presenters, I think, try and give it a go because I'm learning so much. We're doing these craft alongs with you guys, and I'm certainly enjoying them as much as you are as well. Final few comments. Aisha just saying, great thing about the double-sided dies is there are a lot of good waste that can be used on another project, as we've already seen. And loving the colours, Jan, says Patty, from that last demo. Yeah, if you did load those colours.
It's striking in that green, isn't it?
Yeah. Those colours are on the show for you. The Centura Pearl and those 3 different green colours are available for you. So yes, if you didn't manage to craft along because you didn't have the goodies, this is a good opportunity for you to be able to grab any of the double-sided dies on the show. But of course, the Edgeables are the dies that we used on the craft along, which is sort of like the first hour and a half of the show. So your double-sided Edgeables, your 8-piece collection there, which is going to give you your garden border and your lily border, the pretty florals which we used, the dancing butterflies, your diamond lattice and fleur-de-lis, your shining stars, and your heart-to-heart as well. Half-price deal on that today. It's a really good day to get them. It's $46.50. Those are the details for your creator card, but $46.50 is the deal for you here in the UK. Half price and $53 in the US as well. Phenomenal. Make sure you check out your baskets, and as I say, subscribe to us on YouTube, and then you can craft along at your own pace. So you're back virtually at 7 o'clock. When are you back in real life?
In real time, I'm back on Sunday, Ben.
Right.
Okay, so if you're new to stamping, I've got a craft class at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and we're going to go right back to basics. We're going to talk about the types of stamps, the types of stamping platforms, the types of card, the types of ink. We're going to go right back to basics and talk you through literally Stamping 101 at 3 o'clock, and then I've got a second chance Sunday in the evening. So yes, I shall be back on Sunday. We can't wait. Absolutely love today. It's been different. It's been topsy-turvy. Love the craft alongs. I'm in my element with that side of it. So thank you guys for joining in.
We've loved having Jan here once again, and make sure you join Jan on Sunday. She's back at 7 o'clock UK time on a 1-hour pre-recorded show, but make sure you join myself and Sarah from 8 UK time for our US warehouse clearance. 3 hours of amazing bargains. We'll see you then. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye for now.